Have you ever wondered what is some of the money that you're leaving on the table, right? You're a self-publisher. In the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about registering your music everywhere, right? But after you did that, you might have realized that there were some things that you just weren't willing to do, didn't have access to, or wondered, how can I get my music here, there, or get this money that I left on the table? Well, you can find out next, coming up on the Music Money Makeover Show. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham. Thank you for coming back. And this week we're talking about self-publishers versus major publishers, right? And I got a couple things that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a couple categories, and we're going to break it down from easy, medium, and hard entry levels to get to, right? And how to collect your money on those in those spaces. Let's jump into the first thing. All right, the first thing that we're going to talk about today is proper registration. Now, we've been talking about all the places where you can go and register your music to collect your money. But the key thing here is if you can keep up with it and stay organized. That's what you pay an administrator for. But if you yourself can keep up with your registrations, then you're A-OK in this department. That means keeping up with your copyright registrations, your PRO registrations, your mechanical license registrations, even your sound exchange registrations. And that doesn't have anything to do with publishing. That's on the sound recording side, but keeping up to date with that. And if you can keep up to date every time you release something, every time you create something, just anytime you make something new, if you can keep up with that, then you can check that one off your list, because at least you know how to collect your money and you have no need for an actual collection deal. All right. Now, the next step out of that you have to take care of is this. Now, this is not necessarily something that you need to take care of, but rather you will take care of. It's demo recordings. The publisher, as a major publisher, will pay this fee for you to go into a better studio than your home, even though they will take those demos, okay? But they'll have some facility on site, on hand for you to record your stuff, okay? And then on top of that, they may have another deal worked out with another major studio so you can record your stuff, okay? So that is there. That's a easy barrier level that most of you all will take care of at your personal recording studio. So you don't need to incur demo recording cost from a publisher, because you can handle that on your own. You'll find that a lot of costs come from major publishers when they put you into writing camps, or they send you off to work with some artists that they might have another publishing agreement with, so that you can place some songs on them, okay? So that's one thing to consider, the demo recording cost. And that's an easy level to enter in on, to take care of. But the next one, we're going to step it up to the medium level. What is that, you might ask? Synchronization. Now, this will cover a broad spectrum here, but we're going to focus on television and film. All right? And only television and film programs right now, just for this segment. Okay? So TV and film. You are probably looking for some placements there, but you have no relationships. So the first person you're going to reach out to is someone who is possibly a sync agent, or a publishing company that just focuses on sync alone. All right? Why would you do this? Well, you don't have the relationships, nor do you have the time, nor are you thinking about making the time to make the list and find the emails and numbers and find these people online on their social media sites or through email or whatever it is, to contact them personally, because you're thinking about creating. You're concerned about creating, but when you work with a sync agent or a publisher or a song pusher, plugger, whatever, you're looking to them to handle this for you. Okay, you're looking for them to also take care of the negotiations for that, because you don't know how to negotiate for that. All right? So that's a medium entry level, because you yourself, yes, you can do that. You can do all of this stuff that I will have listed here. But the question is, are you really going to do it all, and do you have the time to do it all? Because the business will begin to outweigh the creative. I want you to be aware of that, okay? So with sync, we're talking about payouts from anywhere from free to, maybe up to $100,000, on payouts for synchronization in television and film. But that's something that the average Joe, if they work hard, they can still get into. The next step in the synchronization realm. We're going from medium to hard now. All right. Commercials. Commercials are a bit difficult. Why? Because you don't know the source of who's choosing the music. There could be a music supervisor, could be the production company, could be the creative department at the ad agency. All ad agencies do not choose the music. Sometimes they rely on a music supervisor. Sometimes, more than likely, they rely on the production department. Okay? So you don't know. So you got to have those relationships formed with the creators and writers of commercials and the production companies of these commercials so that you can get your music placed in it. And that takes a while. Relationship building takes a while. All right? You might want to meet these people at ad conventions, someplace that music goers don't show up to because they're not really thinking about bumping, elbows with some of these people. But maybe go to Ad Week. Show up at Ad Week. Find those people there, network with them there, and build those relationships there. All right? The next one we're going into, and we're going to stay at a hard level, is video games. All right? We're still in the synchronization area. Video games. All right? Many attorneys don't know how to negotiate these contracts because their clients aren't actively in that space, and they might not have publishers actively pursuing placements in video games. Okay, so in order to do that, you either want to talk to the creators, you want to talk to the creative department at the video game companies and those developers, and then you have some video games that do a lot of clearances on music, like EA Sports or 2K Sports, that use a lot of music in their video games. However, like I said in the beginning of this segment, is that a lot of people don't negotiate these deals because they don't come across people's desks that often. All right, so it's kind of a weird space, so to speak. It does get done. Music is in video games all day long, but it's a concentrated area, so I'm going to put this one at a hard level when it comes to synchronization. All right, now you might want to find some of these developers at the E3 convention. All right, when they have that, go out there, network, find these people. You can find them online for sure. Possibly LinkedIn, possibly Instagram, wherever you can find these developers. But you have video game companies galore that need music, even down to the apps, PC games, online games, whatever. But you're going to have to build these relationships, and now you start to have the business outweigh the creative. You can start to see how that goes. Okay? So now, where do we go from here? You might say, well, Casey, that's like that's a bit much. I feel like maybe you're talking down to my potential to go get these deals, but I'm not. What I'm trying to say is it takes time to build these relationships, but you want to make great music. And sometimes building these relationships and handling the business will cause you to step away from your music, and you might not notice it until you're too deep in and you're not making enough music to meet the demand of what these sources call for. All right, so you want to balance that stuff. All right, so let's keep going. Now, this one doesn't have anything to do with synchronization. However, it is a placement. We're talking about product placement, music in products. And I'm going to start with toys because toys are so often visited with music, especially children's toys. All right, they also are visited by voiceovers, right? So, you got to know the toy companies. The best place to start would be the trade shows if you want to go and actively meet people. But you need to know the manufacturers of certain toys that may fit with the genre of music that you make. One thing I would recommend is Toy Book. All right, I'll pop that over here. We'll put a copy of Toy Book. That's a trade magazine where you can find these manufacturers and these developers of toys to see if they would possibly like to do a deal with you with your music, or if you can get your music placed in it. Another thing could be American Greetings greeting cards, Hallmark greeting cards, product placement. Wherever music can be sold, that's what you're looking for when it comes to products. All right, so consider that. The barrier to entry on this, like I said, is high. Reason why, it is not such a defined place, if you will, where people get stuff placed. All right, it does happen, but who do you know that's actively seeking those placements? All right, major publishers will do that. Okay, that's part of their job. All right, so let me go to the next one. Now I'm going to make this one my last stop. My last stop on this one is foreign collections. This is what you, as a self-publishing artist, will not do off the top of your head, is worry about the money that you have, generating overseas outside of America, or if you're in Europe or any other country, your money being generated in America or other countries, right? Sub-publishing. You want to get your money back to America fast? You want to consider doing a deal with the sub-publisher. You want to collect more of your money? Consider doing a deal with the sub-publisher. Well, you say, Casey, how do you do that? Well, now you're going to have to network and find somebody who can do that for you. Sub-publishing has a high entry level, not because it's so difficult, but it's rarely sought after, but until people actually need it, and then only when they understand that they actually need it. Now, sub-publishing is done with publishers overseas to get your money back to America faster, and vice versa. All right? So, for an example, I had an offer to sync a song in India, but it came with a sub-publishing deal that went back through PRS in London, or the UK rather, to get my money back to America. Why does this make sense, or why does this even happen? It's because if my money leaves India and it goes to the UK, which a lot of publishing houses are there, whether it be France or Germany or UK, the publishing money will leave that associated country, go to the hub, and then it has to come to me. If I let it go naturally and leave India to come to the UK, to come to America, it's going to hit the hands of India, and it's going to hit the hands in the UK. But I can cut off the transfer right at the UK line and say, hey, send it directly to me after you pick it up. That cuts off an extra fee that is going to be involved with getting your money back to you. Keeping more money in your pocket, getting it to you a little bit faster. Okay? So seeking those sub-publishers, I'm going to put at the high level, like I said, because it's you don't think about it. Nobody really thinks about a sub-publisher until they actually need it, and then they want to scramble to find one. And you don't want to scramble to find one, so you want to make sure that your publisher, your administrator, or your major publisher will have its affiliates consider doing a sub-publishing deal with your song, or that might actually already be worked into your deal when you first sign it. Okay? Anyway, that's been the show this week. Thank you all for coming back to watch. If you want to get the notes to this show, download the Profit Maximization Checklist below. It's free. You can do that. Or if you just, hey, look, man, give me the checklist, but I just want to ask you some questions personally. I don't want to put it on YouTube. You can text me, 470-291-5767. That's 470-291-5767. It is an international number. It comes directly to my phone. You can't see it right now, but my phone is sitting right here. Give me a text. Let's chop it up. Let's network. And hey, we might make a couple deals out of the conversations that we have. All right, 470-291-5767. All right, and if you want to step up your publishing game and not only register your stuff yourself, but know when, where, how, and what order to register it in to get all the money that you need, and how to actually set up your publishing company, you can download the Musician Self-Publishing Guide #1 down below in the description below, and that'll show you how to set up your company. Right? Most people just start and say, hey, I'm going to start a BMI account. But in order to collect the money the right way, in order to make sure you're filling out your W-9s without your social security number and all that stuff, you're going to need to know how to do it. And that is listed in the link below right here at the bottom. Anyway, I'll see you all next week. Peace.